Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to Tekpon. Today our guest is Alex, the CEO of Licenseware. Hello.
Hey Christian, thanks for
Yeah,
having me.
happy to have you. Please tell us what is Licenseware.
Licenseware is the first open app ecosystem for IT asset management. And what we do in a nutshell is we help companies reduce the cost, risk, and complexity associated to software licensing.
Okay. Is that the biggest problem that you solve?
Yeah, it's the biggest problem in IT no one really talks about. So everyone talks about cyber and all this other stuff, but managing software like the valuable asset that it is not such a hot topic nowadays, although it is an important topic in every C-level or IT leader's agenda.
Yeah. So, can you walk us through the process? I saw on your website you have the section, how does it work? So now I ask you, how does it work?
Well, we built licenseware as the tool that we always wanted to use when we were consultants. It's a compelling tool from a usability point of view, and uh, the way it works is that you collect some technical information from your IT environment with pre-existing tools or a bunch of tools that we provide. Once the information is collected, you just upload the data to our platform and it gets automatically analyzed. And then you get a set of reports which give you insight into how your software is installed, how your software is being used, and insights that would help you basically manage the risk in case you are overutilizing, or insights that would help you basically reduce the cost, um, just reducing the environments that are redundant.
Yeah, it makes sense. And what apps do you currently support?
Well, right now we've been very much focused on Oracle and Microsoft
Mm-hmm.
because these are very popular vendors within the enterprise space, and they're also known for their, let's say, a bit aggressive auditing tactics. And yeah, we started with the highest risk type of software that you have out there on-prem. And once we kind of close in the gaps here, then we're going to move on to other high-profile vendors like IBM, SAP, Adobe, etc. So we want to cover all of the tier one vendors in the next 1 or 2 years.
Sounds great. Sounds great, yeah. And what are your top features? What did you say are
So
your top features?
yeah, I
Yeah.
would say key differentiators for using licenseware are basically the unprecedented flexibility that you get. So if you look at the market right now, you can purchase software as a commodity. However, the tools and services that you leverage to manage your software investments cannot be purchased and consumed as a commodity. And we want to change that. And in order to change that, we have to provide our tooling as a commodity. So pricing is transparent. You don't need to go into lengthy conversations with our sales guys to just find out how much it's going to cost. You can just see it on the website. And with pay as you go, you can basically choose the functionality that you need when you need it and pay only for what you use and nothing extra on top. So then you get the flexibility to uh, either prove your software asset management program from a business point of view. So you can start off with a small investment. You can prove, the potential cost saving that you can derive from using these tools, and then you can scale with the product. Um, we also provide the same flexibility from a subscription point of view. So then you have companies that have a bit more of a predictable workload. So then a subscription is more interesting, and then they can they can get like these short-term subscriptions that would cover their periods where they have more load, and then they can slow down and go into pay as you go, or just cancel altogether when there is less business activity. On top of that, the modularity. So we're building a modular app ecosystem in the sense that these applications can be used independently or together in different combinations. So again, it goes into this commoditization theme that we're trying to promote, which basically allows companies to choose only the functionality that they need and not pay for functionality that they don't use. This is again an issue that we saw in the current tooling market, whereas you have companies that purchase IT asset management solutions to manage maybe one or two high-profile vendors that they have in their environment, and they end up buying this full-stop solution that contains a lot of extra functionality that they have to pay for, and they maybe never use, or they only use it once per quarter. And we believe that this just adds up to the problem. So aside from being difficult, if you're an IT asset manager or a software asset manager and you go to your boss and say, hey, I need a budget of 200K so I can save you money on software. It's kind of a tough business case to kind of promote. But if you go to your boss and say, I just need, just a few K to start off with, and then I can show you the value of doing this, and then we can increment it based on the budget and the value that it brings to the business, then it's a whole different conversation. And that's what we're trying to change. We want to change the status quo and make this type of services available and appealing not just for your average enterprise that spends millions on software and they really need to do it. It's a must for them, but we also want to bring this across to other markets which are totally neglected right now, and other companies that would want to, pay more attention and dedicate some resources for managing the software assets, but they can't really start off because of the high pricing point, and also if you go to on the services side, it's a similar story.
Yeah, so that was my next question about the pricing, but you predicted it. Nice. When did you start the company and why did you come up with this idea?
Well, we've been in the industry since we started our career. So when I say we, I'm talking about myself and the other co-founders, Ciprian, who's the CTO, and Chris, who's the Chief of Sales and Marketing. Mm-hmm. So myself and Ciprian, we've been mostly doing consultancy work throughout our career. We were put a bit of focus on the technical side of things, and Chris worked more on the commercial side. But then we all worked within the licensing industry, and we've worked for startups. When I talk about Ciprian and myself, and we've had the opportunity to change a number of hats. And we kind of went full spectrum within the industry. We did audits for software vendors. We did consultancy for big enterprises, and then we also spent some time kind of automating the analysis processes that we were doing at the time manually. And we always thought that there must be a better way of doing this. There must be a change within the industry and so on and so forth. And that was kind of in the back of our heads. And long story short, about I think 3 years ago, Ciprian came up with this concept of an open app ecosystem for IT asset management, kind of like AWS, but for IT asset management. And that was also the time where he wanted to learn Python and he wanted to try out some new technologies. And he started building this thing on his own, kind of like as a hobby project. And I think half a year later, he reached out to me to kind of show me what he was busy with, because I was also a developer at the time, and yeah, just to exchange some ideas, and kind of one thing led to another, and I joined. At the time, I actually thought I was going to leave the licensing industry for good. I actually took a job, and I was working for an e-commerce startup at the time. I was doing the data analytics part, doing a bit of dashboarding, and he came to me with this idea, which I felt like, yeah, it's a type of tool that I wanted to use when I was a consultant, and it's the
Yeah.
change that I want to see in the industry. And I can watch the change happen, and miss out and have FOMO all my life, or I can join. So I kind of decided to take a leap of faith, and when there's two, there's all of a sudden a bit more momentum, and yeah, we started just doing it on the side to our jobs, and we were coding in the weekend, in the evenings, in the night, uh, trying to bring more functionality to it and build kind of a more compelling MVP. And yeah, one thing led to another. We signed the first customer, and yeah, we attended a local startup event where we kind of pitched for the first time, and we just wanted to see what other people would think about our concept, especially other people outside of the industry, because we've been hearing all these, you know, good feedback comments from people that we spoke with within our immediate circles. We just felt like we had like this tunnel vision in terms of. So we wanted to see what other people who have no clue what software licensing is all about would think about it. And yeah, to our surprise, we actually got Best Innovation Award, and then we got fast tracks to a bigger event. Then we got scouted by another local startup program. That's where we met our current investors. We took a funding round, and then yeah, we slowly started building a team. We're now 15 people, active contributors, mostly developers still, but we're in the process of closing another funding round, and we're going to go a lot more into the sales and marketing bit. A lot more focus is going to be on that. A lot more money is going to be invested as opposed to just investing in the development team, which was really, really needed to do that at first, to have a development team that can deliver fast and at scale. But yeah, then we now need to change a bit the focus and just put the product in the hands of prospects. We haven't been doing that, and yeah, that's what needs to happen this year.
Very, very interesting story. And do you think you have found product market fit?
Yeah, I believe so. I think the main challenge that we have right now is kind of the cold start issue. So when you build a marketplace or an ecosystem of something, it's not that much of an ecosystem if you don't have a lot of apps in it. So that's the part that we're working on right now. Is we want to build that first, the initial applications, kind of like bring enough functionality to the platform so that it becomes compelling for the average user. And I think we're reaching that threshold moment where, it's not just a few apps, like two or three apps in the platform. I think by the end of the year, we will have between 10 or 12 apps, proprietary applications that we built ourselves. And yeah, I think from now on, things are just going to accelerate more and more. We built some internal tech that helps us do this faster and at scale. We have an SDK that automatically generates 60 to 70% of the code required for building a new app. So
Wow.
that really helps us. And in the future, we want to see third parties use our platform to develop their own apps and monetize it. the same way as you would develop an app on, I don't know, any other platform like Android App Store or iOS App Store. And yeah, that's how we wanna do it.
That's the vision.
Yeah.
What's your favorite software apart from licenseware?
Yeah, apart from licenseware, I mean, I would say Jira because that's where we go to see, what needs to happen. That's where we manage our work, at least from a product development point of view. And we've been spending a lot of time using Jira and the Atlassian stack in general. And yeah, although there are many things that I would improve about it, I don't really see myself using an alternative solution to Jira. So
Yeah,
it's kind of a, but if I would really choose the, I don't know if it counts as a piece of software, but what I really like is the Mac OS. So
yeah,
as a favorite piece of software, I
yeah,
think I really like operating systems because they're just the underlying base for everything. It's where everything starts.
yeah.
And I've been a Windows power user, I've been a Linux user, and I've tried everything and I kind of stuck to Mac. And I really like the operating system. It's very compelling. Everything integrates with everything. And yeah, I like this ecosystem idea. That's in a way what we're building with
Yeah,
Licenseware
yeah,
as well.
yeah. Yeah, it totally makes sense. Is there anything else that you want to tell us today?
No, I mean, just make sure to go and follow our LinkedIn page. We have a bunch of big news coming up, so please stay tuned. Show your support, and yeah, we just want to make it out there like the other, like the other local brands that became, unicorn level like UiPath and all that. So
Yeah, yeah.
watch this space and yeah, cheer for us because yeah, we need all the support that we can get.
Thank you so much for being here.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me.